All righty. I'm going to call to order the May 6th meeting of the Carmel-by-the-Sea City Council. Nova, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes. Councilmember Barron?
Here.
Councilmember Dramoff? Here. Councilmember Ferlito? Here. Mayor Pro Tem Richards?
Here.
Mayor Potter?
Here.
All are present.
All righty. So the first item then is the public comment period. Is anybody in the public wishing to comment on an item that's not on tonight's agenda? I don't see anybody on Zoom.
There's no hands raised on
Yeah,
Zoom.
close the public comment period. Move on to the consent calendar. There's 8 items on the consent calendar. Anybody on council with a concern with those items? Is anybody in the public wishing to speak on an item on consent?
Dale Byrne has his hand raised.
Dale? Dale, the floor
Go
is
ahead,
yours.
Dale.
I'd like to pull item 4, please,
Item 4.
All right.
which is the consulting services agreement, recruiting services agreement.
All
just to
right,
make sure.
We'll pull that item. Is there a motion then to go ahead and move the balance of consent?
Make the motion. I'll make the motion. Second.
Motion to second. Any other discussion? No, we can get a roll call on balance of
Yes.
consent.
Councilmember Barron?
Yes.
Councilmember Dramoff?
Yes.
Councilmember Ferlito?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Richards?
Yes.
Mayor Potter?
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, so let's frame item number 4 then. Chip, you want to go ahead and do this? It's authorizing the city administrator to execute an amendment number, professional agreement contract with Traffic Patterns LLC.
Yeah, and that's just the name of the firm, Mr. Mayor. So we use a variety of, help. Ms. Bermudez is our HR director, of course, but we do use outside professionals to help us with recruiting. And Traffic Patterns is a group that we use to hire more rank and file positions. They often prepare notices, they get the word out, they do the initial screening of applications and get us a core group of candidates that meets our profile and needs. So, and for other positions, more like the executive positions, again, we all know Mr. Harari will be retiring later this year. Oh yeah, it's a surprise to you. When we're using an outside firm, professional firm to hire to seat Mr. Swanson's replacement as well. So yeah, that's basically the extent of it. It is a contract, and it's a not to exceed contract, so it's not one big fat contract. When we use this firm, then they bill us, and we budget for it, and that's the introduction, Mr. Mayor.
Any questions, council, about Chip on this item? I don't see anybody. Okay, Dale, you pull this item. What's up?
He has to unmute
Dale
himself.
Byrne?
Yeah.
Unmute yourself. Hello, Dale.
Dale, did you have a
Okay.
public?
All right, I had to do it again, sorry. Mayor Potter, Administrator Rarick, council members, other city officials, and interested parties. I appreciate your adding a little color to that, Chip. I'm just going to go ahead and read my statement that I had. You answered maybe part of it. So it's hoped that the council has more information than is provided in the staff report to make this $25,000 decision, which, including historical spending with this consulting firm, is actually $65,000 in total expenditures. While it's probably a valid request, unless we missed it, the public has no visibility into what Traffic Patterns actually has provided in the past or is going to provide in the future, or the effectiveness of their previous work. Looking at the only company with this name we could find online, their website shows they do interesting work with smart cities and connected vehicles, as well as a range of traffic engineering consulting, but it shows no indication that they're in the recruiting consulting services business, so maybe we had the wrong company. It would help to add a little more background and justification, including the value provided by their work to date and expected on subsequent extensions to an existing contract for expenditures of this magnitude, especially when they're in the consent agenda. That would help the council and the public to properly evaluate them without further discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dale, for that testimony. Is there any questions or comments by council members? Yeah. Any desire to move the item?
I'll make a motion to approve item resolution 2024-30.
We have a motion of a second.
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All right, Dale, I take your comments into submission. We'll consider that in the future. Thank you. Okay. We have a motion of a second. Nova, could we call a roll, please?
Councilmember Barron?
Yes.
Councilmember Jeremo?
Yes.
Councilmember Ferlito?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Richards?
Yes.
Mayor
Aye.
Potter?
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, that moves us on then to closed session. It's an opportunity for any public member to comment after we've told where we're going to closed session. Council, would you like to read us in?
Yes, we have 3 closed sessions this afternoon. A conference with labor negotiators pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.6. The agency designated representatives are identified in the agenda. The employee organization is the Carmel Fire Ambulance Association. Our second item is a conference with labor negotiators. That's authorized by Government Code Section 54957.6. The agency designated representatives, again, are in the agenda. The employee organization is the General Employees Union. And the third closed session item is a conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation, initiation of litigation pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D4, one potential case.
Thank you. Is there anybody in the public wishing to speak to any of these items? I don't see anybody.
There's no hands raised on Zoom.
We have nobody speaking. We'll go into closed session, and anybody is authorized to be may stay. Otherwise, please clear the room.
I'm going to start the, what do you call it?